Hello, and thank you for watching this July 27th weather update, brought to you by Agrible, the makers of Morning Farm Report. My name is Eric Snodgrass, and I'm a senior atmospheric scientist and co-founder of Agrible. While a large section of the Corn Belt from Ohio through Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, and Wisconsin stayed relatively dry over the last 7 days, Missouri and other parts of the central United States were hit with another round of heavy rain. I am not sure how much more of this the crops in Missouri can stand, as they have been repeatedly hit with heavy rain since the start of June. However, in other parts of the United States, south and central parts of Texas were dry, but Southern California had to deal with the torrential rains from the remnants of Dolores. Parts of Indiana aren't faring too well either. This graph shows the July precipitation totals for each year going back to 1948. The heavy precipitation Indy has received this July has not only broken the record for the wettest July on record, but also for the wettest month ever on record in Indianapolis at 13.13 inches, and the month isn't even over yet. Well, last week, most of the Corn Belt dodged significant heat stress, and fortunately overnight low temperatures were cool, which is excellent for the corn crop. Here are the average temperature anomalies for the first 25 days of July, and we can easily see that it has been cooler than average across a large section of the Corn Belt. The only region that has been significantly warmer than normal has been the northwestern United States through northern California. The behavior of the air temperature in July is strongly negatively correlated with yields, and for most regions, July 2015 has been close to ideal. However, moderate temperatures are favoring the development of the soybean aphid, which has spread through areas in northern parts of Illinois, Iowa, and into South Dakota and Nebraska. Corn foliar diseases remain an issue too, although we are beyond the optimal fungicide spray stage through most of Illinois and Iowa. Areas in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin may still have corn that can be sprayed though. Taking a quick look at prices, December corn peaked about 2 weeks ago near $4.50, and part of the downward trend has been in response to favorable July weather conditions. Last week's USDA crop report revealed that Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin had 83, 86, and 81% of the corn crop rated at good to excellent, respectively. Illinois sits at 55% rated good to excellent, with 29% rated at fair, while Indiana is hovering near 45% of the corn crop at good to excellent. It is clear that the northern states are carrying the country this year in terms of production. The weather to start this week will be dominated by a large low-pressure system that will form on the lee side of the Rocky Mountains on Monday. By Tuesday morning, the low ejects out into the northern plains, bringing much-needed rain to southern Canada, while also dragging a cold front through the Great Plains. This front will serve as the primary boundary on which showers and storms will form early this week. By Tuesday night, the low has moved into Canada, and the cold front sweeps through Iowa. Wednesday morning, precipitation extends from Lake Michigan through the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. The good news is that on a large scale, rain amounts across the saturated parts of the Corn Belt are forecast to stay well below an inch to start the week, although some storms may locally drop more. The even better news is that this rain will have a positive impact on the drought in parts of Canada, where numerous wildfires have formed in the last 30 days. In terms of temperatures to start the week, excessive heat warnings are out for most of Missouri and Arkansas. Ahead of the cold front, 90-plus degree heat will spread into the Great Plains Monday and Tuesday. However, most of the Corn Belt stays away from the dangerous temperatures above 95 degrees Fahrenheit. While this forecast once again means that most of the Corn Belt dodges extreme heat, the excessive precipitation has taken its toll on yields. While the corn crop may look good from the road in many places where standing water didn't severely stunt growth, the plants are not producing like they did a year ago, especially where surplus rain in June and July have been an issue. Some early crop surveying has shown that ears are small and kernel counts are significantly less than 2014. It will be interesting to hear what surveys in the northern part of the Corn Belt reveal in a few weeks. Looking into next weekend, here are the 6 to 10-day precipitation and temperature outlooks. Missouri might finally get a chance to dry out, as drier than normal conditions are forecast to reside there, and cooler than average temperatures are forecast to occupy the north-central U.S. and Great Lakes area. Warmer than normal conditions are expected to continue out west, but also spread through the south and along the east coast. For longer-term planning, ensemble model forecasts are consistently showing a ridge of high air pressure retrograding west, allowing for more frequent troughs in the eastern two-thirds of the country. This translates into cooler than average temperature for the eastern two-thirds of the country through the first 10 days of August. Last week, I showed the CFS V2 forecast for air temperature anomalies, or differences from average, in August. Looking again at the latest from this model, we can see a similar story. Several long-range models, in addition to the CFS V2, are suggesting that a large section of the U.S. focused on the Great Plains might be 1 to 2 degrees cooler than average for the month. Here is the latest CFS V2 precipitation anomaly forecast for August. The model is staying consistent week to week despite the challenges of long-range precipitation forecasting. The forecast calls for wetter than average conditions in the Rocky Mountains and Great Plains and parts of the Midwest, while the South dries out somewhat compared to normal. When looking at a forecast like this, we are simply searching for patterns, not absolute values. We need to watch for this pattern, though, as soybeans mature through August and we start preparing for the harvest in the following weeks. As one last note, with the strong El Niño conditions brewing in the Pacific, the winter weather in the United States will be heavily influenced by the El Niño. Statistically, the forecasts shown here are highly probable given the current El Niño. If El Niño is the dominant player in our winter weather, expect a wet and cool south and a warmer and drier north this winter. Well, as always, we at Agribel will bring you the latest and best weather forecast information through our morning farm report so that you can efficiently plan your operations. We thank you for your attention and hope you look forward to our next weather video update. Thank you.